How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel and back to my knife collection videos. This is part 3. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to put everything. I don't know that we're going to be able to put everything in one video. No, we won't, unfortunately. But that said, you know, I'm not going to complain. It gives me a reason to talk about my knives. Okay, so let me see now. So part 3 is going to just cover the 2021 knives, and then I'll do one more part. Hold on a second. There's one missing again. I did it again. I did it again. Okay. Yeah. So we'll stick that down there as well. So, actually, let's start with this piece. So we're going to start off nice and simple. Nylon pouch. I talked about this in my last video. I'm not a huge fan of nylon sheaths. This one's lasted a while because, frankly, hasn't gone on my belt much, if at all. Now the multi-tool that lives in this pouch comes from a company called Zenith Knives. There are, I believe, 9 tools on here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. So that's 7. So there's 8 tools on this, and then there are the 6 wrench pieces on the undersides of the handles. I picked this up in early 2021, around sort of January, February-ish, and I mean, in reality, the only tools that really got any use were the pliers and the knife blade. It's got a nice clip point blade that, ouch, don't worry, I didn't break the skin, it's okay. So I bought this one for the bit kit that it came with. I was looking for something that I could use to take my knives apart for cleaning and maintenance and stuff like that. And this one came with a bit kit, right there. And the way this set works, if I can just get the attachment out, is there's like a little square thing on there that you pull out. Then that goes on there, and you take that bit that you want to use, and you pop it in there like that. Now, I don't know how well this is going to show up on camera, but that is not, it's not the best, what is that, a hex bit? Looks like it. It's not showing up on camera very well. But these pieces, they just would not fit into into the pivot screws, and in the end, you know, I just ended up with an easier to use multi-tool, is all. Haven't used it a whole lot apart from the pliers and the knife on occasion to open boxes and things. So not really all that much to say about that. Okay, let's start with this one. Okay, so this is the SOG Mini Instinct. You can see it's a tiny knife. So last time we had a bit of difficulty getting a knife to fit on screen because I'm using my tablet to record these. So this is, I think, just under 2 inches on the blade. I actually got this at a flea market. So, yeah, I'm not kidding. I actually got this at a flea market. I saw it and I'd heard of the brand, but I'd never actually carried it. The price was good, so I picked one up, and so the clip can be rotated any which way you like. You can have it like this, like that if you really want to. I've got it set up so that it sits at an angle on my hip, just so that this little piece doesn't rub up against my skin. It tends to leave a really painful welt, and it rattles in the sheath a little bit, which doesn't bother me. That didn't bother me at all, even right at the start. It's super comfortable despite how small it is. Definitely worth a buy. And I carried this one for about 2 months straight, and I still put this on my hip from time to time, because it's super light, it's super easy to use, and it's nice and discreet. You're not, lugging a big Bowie knife around with you. Okay. So the next one, actually, let's talk about this one. So this is the Smith & Wesson Search and Rescue, and again I have to be careful about how I hold this thing so that we can actually see it on the screen. This is the Bowie clip point version. Now this is one of 2 knives that my mom got for me in early 2021. It's got a nice nylon sheath, nylon and hard plastic sheath. My mom and I, so the story behind this one is really cool. So I'm just going to stick that back in there so that I don't end up accidentally cutting myself, because my knives are all sharp. So my mom and I were talking about knives and carrying knives and that sort of thing, and she kind of just said, well, why don't you just pick a couple of knives and I'll buy them. And I thought, okay, well, that's a bit of a surprise. Don't know why, but it was kind of a thing. And I was initially very kind of leery about this one, because this one is way outside of the legal carry size. I would not be able to carry this particular piece, and my mom kind of said, well, you don't necessarily have to carry it, just have it there as like a decorative piece, just as a fun piece for your collection. I thought, you know what, yeah, why not? So I picked it up, and it's super fun. I just like to take it out of the sheath every now and again and just mess around with it. I haven't done anything crazy with it, so don't panic. It did come with a sharpening stone, which you guys can see I've used it a little bit. This is the only problem that I have with this particular knife, is the stone. The knife itself and the sheath are fine. It's the stone that I have a problem with, and that's probably because I don't know what I'm doing with it. So sharpening with that is a bit of a nuisance, but that's why I have a pull-through sharpener. So there's that. And while we're talking about that, since we've talked about the Smith & Wesson knife, let's go on to the Honey Badger. Now, Honey Badger is a South African company. You can see my blade has seen a lot of use. It's all dirty, I have to clean it. Runs on bearings, so it's not spring assisted. That was pathetic. liner lock, reversible deep carry clip, and the branding on this is just super subtle. You've got a little honey badger on there, it's on the handle, and it's on the back of the pocket clip, and that's it. That's all the branding that you get. Now this is the plain edge drop point version with the choil. I didn't see the finger choil, this groove here, until after I'd unpacked it. But this is super comfortable for prolonged use. There are multiples that you can use. There's a leaf style, there's a tanto, there's a claw, there's a I don't think they've got a clip point yet, but I know they've got a worn clip, which is like a cleaver style blade. Come on, man. There's probably like gunk and grime and stuff in the pivot, so I'll have to I'm gonna have to take this guy apart and give it a wash. But super cool knife, and just super clean, very clean lines, very comfortable in the hand, and very discreet. Super user friendly as well. This is something that you can hand off to someone. You'd have to explain, look, just don't touch the locking mechanism, just give it back to me when you're done with it. Don't worry about closing it, I'll do that. Otherwise you might end up with a damaged lock. So thankfully I don't have to worry about that, because well, members of my family, we kind of just know, okay, well, yeah, I don't know how that locking mechanism works, I'm not going to touch it. So that's the Honey Badger. And then I've got two more knives that I want to talk about before I wrap this section up. Or actually, can we? What are we doing now? We're almost at 13 minutes. So let's see if we can get another two knives on the table, so to speak. So the next fixed blade, and this is actually the fixed blade that I've carried the most in my fixed blade collection, apart from the Mini Instinct, is the CRKT Minimalist. And again, I went for that Bowie style clip point. This has got the Cthulhu print on the front. When I bought this, I had just discovered the work of H.P. Lovecraft, the stories that he had written, through a channel on YouTube called Chilling Tales for Dark Nights. They did The Temple, At the Mountains of Madness, I think The Lurking Fear was one of theirs as well, and they did the Dunwich Horror, which is my personal favorite of theirs. And I saw this and I thought, okay, that's cool. Everybody talks about how great the minimalist knives are. I have to try it. And if I'm going to try a knife like this, then, you know, I've got to get that cool, kind of that extra cool factor with that print. Now, when this thing arrived, so it's got a nice sturdy sheath, it doesn't rattle. See, there's a breakaway chain on this. Now this chain actually came off of the Instinct. Okay, so when I got the Mini Instinct, the chain was on that. When I got the Minimalist, it had this blue cord around the through the sheath. Not necessarily a problem, but it is a bit of a choking hazard. And so when the summer months hit and I started wearing shorts, I switched out the cord for the breakaway chain, and so that goes around my neck, and if something happens, that chain's not going to strangle me. The thing will just break. super comfortable in the hand, and that bit of cord on the back, on the bottom there, gives me just that extra bit of space for my fingers, which the Mini Instinct didn't do. Now this also came with this. So this is a belt loop that you can attach there, or there. Now I'm left-handed, so this would go that way around. Just on the... I can never tell which side is the right or left side. Whichever side allows me to access it with my left hand. But that's kind of a winter thing. And then at the same time that I bought the Minimalist, I decided I wanted to try something else. So this is a Balisong, obviously, a butterfly knife. Those who don't know what a Balisong is, it's just a nice spear point shape. It's from Benchmade. Or it says it's from Benchmade. The box said it was from Benchmade, but I don't know what model this is. So, you know, it doesn't bother me. I mean, it doesn't necessarily bother me. I was just looking to see, I just wanted to know what all the fuss was about regarding these things. And I mean, are they fun? Yeah, absolutely. I can sit and do this all day, right? Now this particular knife has also drawn blood a handful of times, mostly because I was trying tricks that I'd never tried before, and I've never actually done like proper tricks with these things. So I'm still kind of learning, and I don't have a trainer, so that is something else that I want to change, that I should have done, is got a Balisong trainer instead of a Balisong with a live blade. But you live and learn. Okay, so I think, you know what, I think we've got time for another two. We've got time. So I talked about a caliber knife in my last part 3. I want to talk about the other 2 caliber knives. Ow. For a second I thought I'd cut myself again. So let's start off with this piece. So this is the Sitatunga. It is a slip joint, so it doesn't lock. You have 3 blades on this. You have the clip point, I think they call it a sheep's foot, and then a smaller clip point. Damn it, I hate having such short nails. On the back there. And I know that Case Knives has I think it's called the Stockman, or something like that, that has the sort of the same idea, or the same design. Super comfortable. It's got nice rosewood handles. You know, much like the Steenbock, it came with a beautiful leather pouch. And that's actually kind of my backup. So this goes into my EDC bag when I'm going out. So if I need to hand off a knife to someone that isn't familiar with knives, I can at least give them something that they know how to work with. The other piece is the Raptor, also from Caliber Knives. Clip point blade, G10 handles, reversible clip. Well, there's only reversible on the one side. Liner lock, so pretty standard. Runs on bearings, so there is no spring in this. When you hit that flipper tab, it might feel assisted the first time, but it's not. It runs on bearings. Beautiful knives, and I actually got these 2 at the same time. This was in, I think, mid-2022. I wonder if we can squeeze one more into the video. we're gonna we'll wrap it up with the Raptor, and then finish off with one more section. So I carry this a lot. It makes its way into my EDC pretty regularly. I haven't carried it in a while. I've been carrying something else, but you know, just a cool piece. I love carrying it. It's nice and light. It's super comfortable in the hand, and like the other caliber knives that I have, this thing has drawn blood multiple times. It's opened plenty of boxes, it's cut plenty of bolt-on for me, and yeah, just, you know, very nice knife. And that clip doesn't destroy my pockets at all, which is something that a lot of pocket clips tend to do. So, you know, it's a win-win. Anyway, guys, that wraps up the third part of this. I'm going to do one more section. I was really hoping, I really thought we might be able to do a fourth part, or just get everything on into this section, but I'm a little bit worried about the memory card, so we'll see. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in part 4, and yeah, take care. See you for the next one. Cheers, guys.